Held on the 1st of March and taking place during DMU's Cultural Exchanges Festival, Media Bomb hosted a panel of 5 media and cultural industry professionals. Here, the panel are discussing employment versus self-employment.
Cool. We've got the next question I want to move on to is one of the 5 main ones. And it's a real corker, really. And I asked the question earlier about who was proactively looking for a job, and there were about 20 people, and then who was already running their own business, and I think there was about 3 or 4. There's probably a few more, but there was a few low hands sort of down this like this. And it's around self-employment or working for someone else. And we can probably bend the freelancing into that as well. And I'll just give you a comment. I was talking to someone earlier about building a website for themselves because they wanted a website. So you don't need a website, you need a blog, because you can update it all the time. And he said to me, I'm just not quite sure. Everyone says I need a website. And I said, well, it's a bit like 20 years ago. If you worked from home, you were being lazy. Now, if you have an office, you're slightly odd. You know what I mean? People can work from coffee shops and use Wi-Fi and things like that. So self-employment versus employed. John?
Yeah. Well, I've done both. And when I was employed, there was always something in me that just said, this is not right. I want to do something else. I want to be my own boss. I want to do something different every single day, and I want to work in a creative organisation. So I always knew within me that I wanted to go and work for myself. Now, when I ask people, students, about do you want to go into employment, do you want to be employed, or do you want to set up your own business? Well, what we tend to find, it's about 50-50. And I think you know in your DNA if you want to set your own business up. You will know if you think, I want to do something different. I've got all these ideas. You're enterprising. You're a bit of an entrepreneur. You know, you've had always, since you were young, you've always had little projects or something. That was normally going to tell you that you're enterprising and you should go and maybe think about setting your own business. Now, the thing with setting up your own business, it brings lots of stresses, lots of risks to your life. And it's if you're prepared to put up with those risks, if you're prepared to sacrifice not having a regular paycheck. And if you are, then you'll tend to find that maybe setting up a business could be a good thing. If you're not, then you should probably go the employment. But try both. And I think for getting experience, try doing a bit of freelancing. And I've always say, I know you won't agree with me, but don't worry about the money first. The money will come later. Just get yourself out there, get a brief, deliver some work and get it to them. If you get paid, great. If you don't worry. Just get your portfolio up. And you'll know very soon if this is for me or if I want to get a job or not.
No, I think just agree with everything you just said. I've done both.
Go and work with him.
Yeah. I've done both, and I loved both equally. And now I'm employed, and I guess sort of self-employed as well, and it was part of a company. But yeah, you're right. If you're out self-employed, you're kind of on your own, and you need to know that you can do that. But the stresses and the strains of it are totally made up for by the rewards that you get when you succeed. It is the best feeling in the world if you've done something yourself and it works.
I don't think they're kind of. You can do both at the same time. It's not a choice. It's not an either or at the moment. You know, working for yourself has never really been easier, to be honest. You don't need an office anymore, like you're saying. You can work off a laptop or a tablet, whatever you got, you know, and run your own business. I'm employed at the minute. I've run my own business, and I run a business part-time as well. I mean, I think the choice of your career is becoming different. I think as you kind of go into your careers, it will become even more different. And a friend of mine in HR described, said people are going to have portfolio careers. And I think that's probably true as well. What she means is people are going to work for somebody for part of their working life, and then they're going to bring in self-employment alongside it, and then they'll probably work for somebody else at the same time. So it won't be like, you know, my dad worked for the same company for 25, 30 years, got to go watch him retire. That's kind of not going to happen anymore. You know, we've got to be flexible and do what feels right for you at the time. I'm sure you tutors have talked to you about career planning and that kind of stuff. That's okay if you can career plan, if you're in a defined line with the career, you know, like you're a doctor and you're going to be a junior doctor, a senior doctor, and go on to something else, you know. But creative industries isn't quite like that. Your career takes twists and turns all over the place, and you just got to be prepared to kind of go with it and do what you think is right, and sometimes just on a hunch, more than anything else, because you don't quite know how the land lies. So I wouldn't say it's either or. I don't think it's a straight choice. I think you could mix and match, and I think you've got to do what's right for you.
I'm just going to be the godly lady there now.
Sarah's left. Step in.
Okay, I'm just going to stand up. Hello, everybody. My name's Tina.
See, that makes you stand out as well.
Yeah.
My name's Tina. I don't have a degree either. And I agree with all of you on the panel. I think you should do both. But one observation is, from my point of view, you'll never meet more motivated people than people that work for themselves. I think it's a brilliant indicator of somebody who has got sheer determination and is not afraid to go out there and make the rules up themselves. I think just looking around the room and hearing and listening to everybody's comments and questions over the last half an hour, one of the biggest things is your time is now, okay? You know, as students, the majority of you in the room are third year students, okay? There's already students behind you, you know, catching up with you right now, and it's about you guys making the niche and your time to make those moves right now and to jump on all of the opportunities. You know, don't wait for somebody to tell you what to do and when to do it. Just go and do it. You know, everybody's heard the word no. You know, it's the smallest word, but everybody's heard it, and I just think that's the most important thing. Don't be scared to ask. Don't be scared to knock on someone's door. Don't be scared to, you know, even if you think it's the most silliest question, I think both being self-employed and working for somebody else gives you a really kind of good understanding of the things you can do.
I work with Tina with a lot of young people, and I can say when she says there's students coming up behind you, she doesn't mean first and second years. I'm talking like 12-year-olds and 13 and 14-year-olds who are totally switched on, and trust me, are not only using Facebook, they're on LinkedIn, okay, building their portfolios, you know, and that's what's really quite scary when you work with young people like that. I've been self-employed. Yeah, I've been unemployed, I've been in the army, I've worked all over the world, I've been bankrupt twice, and I set Citizens Eye up 5 years ago when I came out of prison after 3 months. Okay, so I chose self-employment and being a freelancer as an opportunity to be my own boss and not be told what to do, and be able to every day just do something. And even now, 5 years in with Citizens Eye, we don't have a business plan because, you know, we never needed one, because it was about just locking the door every day and I'd survived another day. And what was interesting in this question here was, does the current economic situation restrict people from going freelance? I would say that's the opportunity. Now is the opportunity, especially if you're studying for another couple of years in Leicester or you're going to stay in Leicester. The mere fact that we're having a discussion about being the UK capital city of culture is an opportunity for you to, you know, do stuff with Anthony at De Montfort Hall, you know, get involved with these guys and stuff, because it's these guys that will be being asked to produce brochures and flyers and windows, the sort of thing that the gentleman was talking about there, about guides and stuff like that. Why? Because that's why we've been asked to sit on the panel. You know, at the moment we're just doing things and we're quite loud and we're kind of seen as being people that do stuff. So it's about using us to get those opportunities to be able to do stuff, okay?
You've been listening to a soundbite from Media Bomb 2013. To find out more, go to facebook.com/MediaBomb.